Greetings, metalheads worldwide. You're on Headbanger's journey on HardTimes.ca, and I'm joined by a true cartoon hero, Mr. Brendon Small of Galacticon, Metalocalypse.
Yeah, you said my name right, which is we're off to a great start. People call me Brandon Smalls. They mess things up, but this is the best interview I've had in a long time.
All right, well, Mr. Small.
Yeah.
Producing a show, Metalocalypse, doing the music, all that, writing. You write the comedy too.
Yes.
All of that, you do this yourself, like.
I have a team of people. I surround myself with good people. It's a very small team, but we've all been working together for a while. But I have a team of writers this season was the first season I really had a team of writers for a certain amount of time. Then I've got an editor, and I've got a couple other directors I work with, and then a team of animators. So it's really is a collaboration. But I take all the credit for it.
Well, who in their right mind would fund a cartoon based on extreme metal?
It's a good question. A very crazy man from Atlanta named Mike Lazo and his partner Keith Crawford. They trusted me because I did a TV show beforehand called Home Movies, and I guess I showed them that with that is that I know how to write a show and I know how to keep it alive and work on. The most important thing you can have in a TV show is characters that are kind of making sense, and there are some shows that have very strong character and some shows that you just don't care and they don't grow from episode to episode. But the most important thing, believe it or not, aside from all the music and all the murder and all the stuff that happens, is to make sure that we have characters that are going in some kind of a direction.
And yes, your characters do grow because we saw, like, from the beginning, it kind of started off like, they're a little flat, but
they have a long way to go.
They get deeper and deeper. You get relationships and everything.
It gets a little bit more exciting, and in the fourth season, you keep on seeing that grow. But the truth is that yes, it is. It starts out as being somewhat cartoonish, and that was not so satisfying for me as a writer. I wanted to keep on making them breathe and live a little bit more.
So now you got the Death Album 3 finally released.
Yes.
And a DVD.
We have so this year is we put out Death Album 3, which is the third Death album, and the Blu-ray of Season 4 of Metalocalypse just came out, and it's been a long year, and it's really fun collecting these songs from Season 2 and Season 3 and Season 4 and putting them all on a record, because what I do is I write just enough of the music to put it on the TV show, and then I don't look back until it's time to make a record, and I think, okay, what is interesting to me about this song, and how can I continue this song and make it a full-length song and continue the evolution of the song and all that stuff. And so that is that's the fun kind of thing. And ultimately, there's no person between me and the record getting out. So I make the record, I co-produce it with Ulrich Wild, who does the engineering and the editing and all the stuff that I don't know how to do or want to do. And then at the end of the day, I say, this is the record, and it's finished, and this is what it sounds like, and the label is very hands-off in a very fantastic way. And the show functions similarly in that there are not too many cooks in the kitchen.
When it came time to figure out the characters, what made you decide on what drove each character?
Yeah, people ask a question where they think they're based on other characters. The only person that we actually kind of based someone on was Nathan Explosion's stage presence. It's very similar to George Corpse Grinder Fisher from Cannibal Corpse, who has an amazing stage presence, and he just commands an audience. But what I knew was from writing the music for the show, for writing the theme song and a few other songs first, what I understood that I wanted from the band was at least 2 guitars, because I wanted to do harmonies. I wanted to be able to have the capacity to do harmonies, sometimes 6-part harmonies, sometimes just twin harmonies. I knew that there had to be a drummer, I knew there had to be a singer, and I knew that there had to be a bass player in metal, because there always is, but I thought it would be very funny to call one of them the fastest guitarist alive, even though I'm not, and then have the other one be the second fastest guitarist alive, and have one of them be from Sweden, have them be from Borden, Norway, and I thought that would just tell me a lot about who they are. One of them is a little bit more elitist than the other. If we had a bass player, and back in the late 80s and early 90s, you just couldn't hear the bass on metal records, and Justice for All. You can't hear it. And I thought, wouldn't it be funny if that were this guy's personality as a bass player that just can't get heard, So what would you do to overcompensate? So then we've got William Murderface, and that's the idea. And then Pickles was the most tricky, because I thought Nathan would be the quarterback of the band.
and that would be like I understood that he'd be the silent leader. And then I thought the drummer's the only tricky one because I wanted the drummer to be a drummer that's driven by a very musical drummer, like Roger Taylor from Queen or something like that, who probably can sing, probably had a very big musical background before switching from being a frontman to a drummer. I felt like he just thrown all this stuff away, and he is probably, I always thought he would probably go and compose on a grand piano somewhere or something, I don't know. But it took a lot of figuring out, and then the best thing I could do, very much like in the whole movie's development process, was going into a studio and improvising for it. And these characters and having me talk to myself in a lot of ways, you know. And it seems kind of maddening, but it really does. You tape everything and you listen to it and you go, what is making sense about these guys and what's making me understand these characters? And in one way or another, how do I connect with each one of these people? You know, how do I understand Willie Waterface? I don't do his voice, but I write all of his stuff. So how do I understand that person? There is that person. Yeah, that's how I recorded all that. Yeah.
I did record that bass solo that he played with his dick with my limited bass technique. Yeah. And it was not my dick. Yeah.
We're gonna hear a Planet Piss album?
I don't think you're ever going to hear a Planet Piss album. I don't think it can be finished. I don't think it can. I think that's the whole thing. Is that
It's a work in progress.
Exactly. Exactly. If he finishes it, then the world blows up. I mean, he can't finish it, I believe.
So, like, when you first started the development, did like the sponsors was that easy to come by, like getting like Pearl and?
Well, yeah, we don't have Pearl. We only have drum programming software because I don't play drums. So people even offered me like stick endorsement shit, and I was like, I don't play drums, so I don't think I can use any of that stuff. But I contacted Gibson Guitars first because I love Gibson, and I said, I've got a television show. Would you like me to put your guitars in? And I want to animate them properly because I want to make people of human proportion. I want them to be able to hold a real guitar, and I think that's going to connect with. If I saw a TV show when I was 15 years old and they're playing real guitars accurately, yeah, but they're actually playing the things correctly. To me, that would be the show that I would take a bullet for. And the animators film my fingers, so that stuff is pretty much within the ballpark of what I'm playing when you see a close-up for a solo or something like that. And again, that's just something that, because I went to music school and because I'm a nerd and because I like guitar, I wanted to make sure that was all there, and that was part of the texture of the show. So,
it did come fairly easily, because if you have a television show, people want to put their stuff on there, and since then with Gibson in particular, the relationship has grown, and we have been lucky enough to put out a guitar called the Thunder Horse, which if you come to the show tonight, you'll see me playing that. And I have a prototype tonight that I'm playing that rumor has that it's going to be out next year. It's called the Snow Falcon, and it's a
white flying V. It's pretty cool. You'll see me open the show with it. It's awesome. So, yeah, that was another part of the whole thing is endorsements, making sure that that's all kind of part of the world.
Okay, who's your favorite character, in the whole show, just to write about, to create,
who's really fun for me to improvise in, and I really enjoy just the tone of this character is Dick Nubler, their producer, with the blonde hair.
Yeah, okay.
He's not always in every episode.
What's with the goggles he was doing?
His eyes were blown out in episode 2. So he wears laser eye things.
I'm probably going to get some bad comments on YouTube for that question.
Yeah. You got to watch every episode. We actually, we keep the story. So if we do something to a character, we have to keep that with them. So if we pop his eyes out of his head, we have to make some kind of mechanical ramification.
The manager reminds me of Stephen Colbert.
People have said that before, but that was not necessarily. Actually, there's a person that he's very much based on, who I can't say. But it was not a famous person at all.
Okay, now, Dr. Roxville.
Yes.
A lot of people a lot of fan questions about that one. Okay, first of all, do you really know anybody who does that much cocaine?
No.
Okay, well, that's done.
Yeah, that's it. That's the big question.
But who
is he based off of?
Yes.
He's not based off of one person. What happened was, on episode 3 in the first season, there was a clown character in the background, just like a birthday clown in Murderface's birthday. And I saw the storyboard, and I just saw a circle clown with his face on it and stuff, and I thought this looks incredibly boring. What if he had the wrong genre of metal
in this thing? So what if it were some guy, like a hair metal world? And what if what if he were this obnoxious character? Just like, and so I drew a picture of a guy in a big leotard with like a hairy chest and a cop hat and a clown nose with spikes on it and all that stuff. And I just put down Dr. Roxo, and I was like, that's it. And he's gonna be kind of like Paul Stanley and Axl Rose and David Roth and all these people that were like flamboyant frontmen from yesteryear, which I love. It's one of my favorite eras of rock and roll. And I thought, let's pay homage to it and also make him just annoying freak.
And one of the most memorable cartoon characters.
Yes, I wish I'd never created him. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr.
Appreciate it.
Small.
Yeah.